because I'm talking to Bob Wicks. Although Bob and I were talking a little bit before we went live that not a whole lot of things are changing. So we're going to try and talk one Tuesday a month, probably the first Tuesday, just like we talked about with Leffencheck yesterday, the chief, and keep giving updates unless something really exciting is happening that needs to come on. So Bob, how was your week? How's things going?
Oh, they're going pretty well. We're starting to bring people back. I think if when the town hall does open up, the Parks Department came over and did some improvements to the town. We cleaned up the front and did some weed eating, and there's some landscaping that we're doing. It was a little tired, so we thought it was time to freshen up the front a little bit. So when you do have an opportunity to come to the town, should look a little bit more appealing than it did in the past.
Nice. Now, was this before or after the freak snowstorm we had on Saturday?
No, that was before, and we weren't able to plant our plants yet, only because we knew the cold was coming along, the snow and the frost and things. So we still haven't planted them. We're waiting probably the end of this week and the next week, because it's supposed to warm up into the 60s and 70s.
Okay, which is good because I opened my pool Friday just to have a layer of snow on it on Saturday. So, welcome to
as long as it's heated, okay.
True, it's true. So, well, obviously that's nice, and everybody likes the signs of spring in the summer. So, I know you're doing something else as far as the lighting or something you mentioned in the town as well.
We have a lighting project. We're replacing all the lights in the town with LED lights, and some areas are going to get new lights. But the good thing for the community is that the engineer and I, Al Yeager and I, over the last 3 to 4 months, we've been negotiating with National Grid to try and get a better price. And over the past 3 months, we were able to negotiate the price down from 995,000 plus down to 954,000. So it's a savings of a little over $41,000 to the community.
Nice.
I know to National Grid that's not a lot of money, but for us it's a 4% savings on a almost $1 million project. So that's fairly substantial. So people should start seeing the lights go in soon. We're starting in Radisson because that's just where it's an easy spot for the contractor to start. They're going to start in there, and then you'll see them out in the community, and there's going to be some areas that are going to get new lighting as well. But they'll be all LEDs, and over the course of time, it should save the town a substantial amount of money.
Nice. Do you know how long, or the projection for how long that project's supposed to take?
Well, we had projections before, but I'm not sure now with everything going on.
Sure.
But it's going to be going on they're starting now, and hopefully they'll be done by, say, September, October.
Okay, nice. With what I do in real estate, it's crazy the difference LED lights makes in the brightness, the lights and everything. So that'll be kind of nice for the town. I was talking to Chief Leffencheck yesterday, and he had read an article about when pandemics end. And I kind of just wanted to throw this out there to you as well, because he said sometimes it's a medical ending, meaning we have the vaccination, the virus goes away, and other times it's the society in general just says, we're done. And I don't know if you can feel the vibe out in the community, but people are starting to get antsy, edgy, more so than before, wanting to have like the picnics to get outside with the nice weather. But you can't say how long everything's going to last, obviously, but I know McMahon and the governor, they're talking about the phases. Do you think having the phases, things opening up, will kind of help with that edginess of people starting to get a little irritated, domestic violence getting worse, that kind of stuff?
Well, I think it's going to depend on how much they open up. I mean, the governor's in charge, so we have very little control over that. And hopefully, I know that he's starting to open up some of the parts of the state by this Friday, and I don't think that our area was one of them. I was listening to a broadcast on the radio yesterday, and I don't think that we were included in Central New York, but the county executive thought that we met the criteria, so I know that he's working on it. And hopefully he can get that done by this week as well, so we can open up. But depending on how much I mean, a little bit's better than nothing. Anything's better than nothing. But I was just listening to a doctor on TV today, and they were talking about how the virus spreads indoors and outdoors. And indoors with air conditioning, they had a dramatization on how the virus spread, and it can spread to a lot of people with a closed circuit type of environment. Just opening up the window and letting some fresh air in, it cuts it down by 50%. And I forget where they were from. They were from some college somewhere throughout the United States. And once you go outside, it dramatically reduces the effects and the spreads of the coronavirus. So I think once it starts getting nicer and we can go outside, I think that hopefully the governor takes that into account. And if we can do things outside, we should be able to loosen it up much more than it is. But I think that we're gonna be dealing with this for at least another year. Yeah. But if we take precautions and we're outside, I think we're in better shape. But yeah, I agree with you. People are looking to get outside and get going.
They are. You know, you hit on something I hadn't heard of, or I guess even thought of, with the air conditioning, because in the winter everything's closed up. I mean, you have to keep the heat in the building. With people coming up with their plans of reopening, I wonder if that's something they would consider, instead of having the AC on, maybe opening the windows so that way the air is circulating. You know, everybody has to come up with a plan of how they plan to open. You know, what are they going to do? Maybe window opening is something to consider, because if the air conditioner is running and it's closed up, right?
Well, that's what this research indicated, that with a closed circuit environment, the virus just spreads around. It's just spread around as opposed to just dissipating or sticking to the wall or whatever. And once you open up the window, and I don't know how they figured this out. I only saw it. I was watching it while I was getting ready this morning, but they seem pretty sure of their research. And once you open up the windows, it knocks it down by at least 50%. And then going outside is the best way to go about it. And once you get outside, you hit the fresh air, you hit the sunlight, you're just naturally away from people more. That's the safest way and the best way. And the virus doesn't have an opportunity to do what it needs to do in order to affect individuals. Did I lose you? I can't hear you right now.
Oh, nice. Well, in the back of my head, I was listening to you, but I bought the most people where I bought a house, there's no air conditioning in this house. So I'm just going to convince my kids I do that intentionally, you know?
I'm not sure if you can hear me.
You're okay, Bob.
You're breaking up pretty good right now. I'm only getting like every third word.
You there?
Yep. Yep. Can you hear me?
Can you still hear me?
Yep. Can you hear me now?
So I think that we're probably having technical issues again. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. Well, that's all anybody ever likes to hear from me anyway, most likely, but I can, yeah. So we'll get, but I mentioned about Bob before, and I just mentioned to everybody here that we have a a video that was just put on to Facebook